final coach's room breakdown of the year, and it doesn't get any bigger than this, John. Game 7 Stanley Cup final. Let's start with the home side. We have seen two totally different Panthers teams in this series, both over the course of entire games and also in the starts of games as well. What should the Panthers need, or what do they need to avoid early on? And also, what do they need to do to take over this game early?
Well, they're known for what? They're known for their forecheck, but it's become disjointed as the series has developed here, because in game 4, it looked like they went too aggressive, and all of a sudden their forwards and their D, it created a massive gap, and Edmonton adjusted really, really well. I will say, similar to what Frank said, that first goal being so important, which is a bit of a captain obvious thing, but I wouldn't be shocked. First period winner could be lifting that trophy tonight. First period winner will lift the cup, because Florida ends up chasing the game and Edmonton gets more confident as the game goes along. So what we're going to see is the first 4 or 5 clips here is we're going to see what Florida needs to avoid and how Edmonton has also played a part in that. And then we'll see what Florida needs to continue to do that they did early in the series. So let's fire up the first video. So we're going to see here, like, Edmonton does a really good job right now of getting to pucks, absorbing hits, and watch this shitty bounce off the ref's skate, but everybody lays on the brakes. Nobody overskates the issue. Little chip, and then break out through the middle, odd man rush. Simple. Watch again. Absorb the hit. Lomberg wants to smoke him, but he absorbs the hit, so it means you protect the puck. And there's 4 guys. Watch this sprint. So you 4 guys shrink the zone. Weak side always stretches. What a spin by Hyman. You're off to the race. Watch. Bad pass. Lack of poise. Major lack of poise here. And I feel like Edmonton is in their heads a little bit, because they are just forcing them to make bad plays. Again, a little bit more poise. That play should be not necessarily take the tape area pass. So we'll pause here. So in game 1, they were hunting. So right here, they've hunted. They got one guy on the forecheck. They got a line change going, and they forced Skinner to go into direct pass. Let's let the clips roll from here on in. Now we got that second quick. Bennett's in. Now watch how quickly Tkachuk comes in, and he's going to lay the body. Boom. Mikula's kind of hunting, and he closes that gap early. Rodrigo, who was the first guy in, he gets back, and now they reload that forecheck once again. This becomes tiresome, even if it is only 90 seconds into the game. Watch again. They're going to go deep. They're first to the puck, change point of attack, second quick on the weak side post, and Edmonton wasn't prepared for this. And watch how quickly they shrink the zone. By shrinking the zone, they are also creating a better gap. Again, first on puck, change point of attack to the weak side like crazy. It opens up the zone, and in this case, it opens up D2. Hammer pucks on net. It's a bit more of a straight line approach we haven't seen. This is a straight line, poise ×2, lack of stick handling, and just 2 quick short passes. And now get it in deep. Protect the puck, load a high, and race to that net front and hammer pucks on net. These are areas that Florida needs to reintegrate into their game plan, but not in the second and third, in the first period.
Yeah, John, that's a great point about the first period. And it's interesting because just a couple minutes ago, we were downstairs talking to Matthias Ekholm, and he said one of the biggest things that the Oilers learned this series is that you can't dip your toe into the water. You know, you do that, and all of a sudden you're down 3-0 in the series. You mentioned that's the game plan and lesson moving forward to tonight. Don't wait for the game to come to you as the night moves on. But for an Oilers team that's found its mojo here over the last 3 games, what stands out to you as what they've done really well? How have they been able to grab control of most of these games at 5-on-5?
Well, I do believe a good portion of it is a more 5-man approach they're in the picture, whether it be defending, whether it be the gap, whether it be how they go and recover pucks and absorb hits, and it's shorter passes. And if need be, they'll go to the aerial pass as well. But let's not kid ourselves. 2 shorthanded goals as their first goals of the game. Like, we can't kid ourselves. Like, those are like That's a kick in the nuts. Let's call it the way it is. It's a kick in the nuts to Florida to have a power play early in the game and to give up 2 shorties and then to set Edmonton off on their way. So we're actually going to start up the clips with exactly that, the 2 shorties and how they scored early in the first period. We saw this earlier in the series. Terrible pinch. It creates an on-man rush. It's up the ice. Look at the time on the clock. Talk about taking an early lead, taking the wind out of Florida's sails when they're looking to close out the series. 62, Montour's got to be lower. He gives Brown way too much time and space, and this is poor puck management. There's too much space to make this kind of play. It's a lack of poise, great anticipation by Brown, and he goes in and he puts it behind Bobrovsky. That's the first goal of the game. Again, 5.5 minutes in. Now, this is, again, first period. They go too aggressive on the forecheck. 1 rim that's about 120 feet. And watch how quickly they go 200 feet with 2 passes and 4 stick handles. That's playing fast. Watch again. So Skinner had the first pass. Here's the second pass. Here's the third pass. Here comes the 4th pass. That's 4 passes. It's about 170 feet, 4 stick handles in 9 seconds. Like, this is what Edmonton's been doing. Look at the guys in the picture. They're closing that blue line. Poor puck management by Florida. I feel like they're in their heads a little bit. And then, boom, it's up the ice. Great skill, great touch by Fogel. Now, let's not count out the power play, which is 23.1% in the last 3 games. And look, a little set play. They almost score. Recover, reset, and when in doubt, let the Boosh bomb fly and get that net presence. And this has been part of that mojo in the last 3 games. Here, you give up a poor gap. You're not holding that blue. And the stationary guys for Edmonton are out of sight, out of mind. And Stenlund loses track of his guy. We all know what McDavid's done on this goal. It's been analyzed to death. And boom, it's in the back of the net. And the goal that broke the ice for the Edmonton Oilers was a 5-on-3 in what looked like a blowout goal. But that seemed to tip the scales in their favor on the special teams. They're dominating on the special teams since game 4. And at 5-on-5, they started defending way better off the forecheck against and off the rush.
We got an Ask DFO question I want to throw your way. They want to know who's going to score the game winner tonight. So tell us, John, what's your score prediction and who's going to get the GWG?
Well, since you busted my chops and you wanted me to send the Oilers Nation gear back, I wore it for this segment. So I'm going to be real bold here, and I'm going to say Janmark scores the game-winning goal in the second period, and this is going to end 5-3 with an empty netter.
Oh, wow. Is that 4th goal coming in the second period? That'd be quite the game script, John. Appreciate your time, and as always, enjoyed the analysis.
Enjoy the game.
What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Saravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.